Hi everyone, it's Dr. Ramani and welcome to this YouTube channel. Much of what is focused on is narcissism, broadly discussed for everyone in all walks of life. But today I'd really like to specifically talk about why it's so important that therapists, clinicians, healthcare workers, or anyone working with people in a sort of a mental health capacity be familiar with narcissism and the impacts it has on relationships. One of the biggest criticisms that I have heard from people who are survivors is that they felt that they went to therapy, but the therapist didn't get it and would try to soft pedal the issue, and they felt really unheard and sometimes even re-traumatized. One of the big issues and problems we have is that many graduate programs, if not most, do not have a full semester or full quarter course just on personality disorders. And when they do, the tendency is to focus on sort of the neuroscience of personality disorders rather than the dynamics inherent in these disorders. And then when they do actually focus on the dynamics of the disorder, they very, very, very rarely reflect on how this kind of personality pattern could affect other people. By understanding these patterns, a therapist or mental health person in any realm is able to hear for patterns and then be in a better position to not only devise a treatment plan, but also a case conceptualization that's less likely to blame a survivor for their situation. For example, giving a client feedback on maybe you need to learn communication skills. I can promise you this. A person who is enduring any form of relationship with a narcissist, there is no type of communication on the planet that's going to get through to them. And if a therapist is instructing a person, well, you need to sort of take ownership for your side, or you need to work on communication, many survivors who've been enduring these relationships for years or even decades may then retreat completely again, feeling like, oh my gosh, if a mental health person isn't going to get this, nobody's going to get this. There are many ways you can get this information if you never got a graduate class, but I really think it's interesting to me that probably the one issue that a significant proportion of clients bring into therapy, their struggles with high conflict, rigid, antagonistic, difficult, dysregulated personalities, is the one area that a lot of clinicians don't get specific training in. So I do behoove you, if you're working in this space, and especially if you're working with a wide range of clients, it's very important to understand this. It's important to understand this in relationships. It's important to understand how this sort of operates cross-culturally. It's just a great knowledge base to have because it really puts you in a position where you can be there for your clients in a way that will really, really foster their recovery and their growth. Thanks again.